All right, so I was wondering why the Prismatic SBCs were dropping a bunch this week, and I finally found at least one possible reason why. So Poke Notify, I know a lot of people say speculation. It is kind of like light on information. Like it's not like it's saying a certain release day, but yeah, when I just Google search, it says that they are coming to Costco's in Canada. That they're confirmed, and it says it's gonna release early 2026, and they anticipate that the US will probably get it. Honestly, like I don't like even just from my own sort of point of view, like, well, first, I'm a little surprised Canada's getting first, unless maybe there's like logistics for a reason why. But the other thing is like, honestly, like I've even seen from the comments, like Pokemon doesn't really treat the other like places outside the US really that well. So it's kind of rare to see like they get better treatment than the US, to be honest. I have seen like the late, I remember, I think Blooming Waters appeared in Canada before the US, but the US still got a lot. So it has happened before. It's not unheard of for Canada to get a product before for whatever reason. And yeah, you do see. I mentioned yesterday. I was like, hey, they dropped from like 290 to 275 yesterday. Now they're at 270. So these keep dropping. They're down another $5. Otherwise, like Prismatic has kind of held steady last day. Like bundles are down about $1. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily buy into that many SPCs now, especially with the market slowed down. And if the reprint happens, if these drops like $200, SPC, great pickup for this. Even back when it was $200 before, I thought it was really cheap. And yeah, that was sort of the $200 was kind of the bottom over here, like about 190 you see over here, and then they went straight back up. Eventually, it was kind of slow though. It was around this like mid-June to mid-August or late August period. It was pretty steady, and then kind of rose back up for and then you see some spikes in the some prismatic items. So his EV promo spiked. You see 102 sold today. Usually only sells like 50. It's been selling pretty decent in general. Prices around I don't know, almost like $9.50 or $10 or so. And then the Lucario boxes have been spiking as well. I mentioned this. This is something that always happens. This happened to 151 so many times. So Lucario boxes are still a lot cheaper than the loose packs, and it only lags so much behind. But you see 10 more sold today, and there was like 26 sold the other day. This spike at the end here. And yeah, I don't necessarily see the prices rising back up as much, but I know these haven't been getting restocked as much. I am starting to see like the 122s appear over here, or like higher than 120. So that's been kind of the ceiling. Like it hasn't been able to break 120, and it just makes sense because like I'll pull up the packs right here. Packs have been selling like over 100 packs pretty much every day. Some days around 200. Yesterday sold 155 packs. And pack prices, it's kind of laughable because like suddenly sells only lists 1 or 2 packs, but you see more of the quantity. You see about 50 packs here, 935. This one here is 945 for 4 or 6 packs. And other than that, like this page only has about like 150 packs at most. And you see pack prices start to rise like 975, 995. So yeah, it's just a pretty basic pattern, especially at some point, like rip and shippers don't really care about buying the loose packs directly, because that's the main reason the pack price is higher, because of rip and shippers. But yeah, once this reaches like $9.75, $10 a pack, like the lag of this is usually at most like $1. I've said that before. It's already happening. You see people buying it up because people are going to shop around more when it costs that much more, because you know rip and ships require a good amount of margin to make money anyway, so they won't be able to make money. And then the Prismatic ETBs, the man's dropping. They're sold 8 yesterday. It's pretty steady. And then the bundles sold about 74 yesterday. Yeah, they're dropping down a little bit. It's like the 57 mark, unfortunately. And then PCTBs sold 1 yesterday, 2 today. These are still around 350 to 355. All right, 151 UPCs. I'm wondering if they're affected by the Prismatic SPC reprint news or rumors. These dropped $40, and I keep seeing deals for these. These are around 600. You see a mail fast cards, ton of feedback, signs for 550, pretty good deal. After that, it goes back to like 585. Like this dropped to like 590 recently. You see it dropping in the last couple of days. See like 600 to 595 to 590. Now it's 550, down $40. Some other things drop. You see Blooming Wars is down 7. Maintain displays are down 4. ETBs are down about $2. But yeah, Yeah, UPCs, people, you can get some pretty good deals on UPCs. I see two were bought today for 600 each, so people are interested in this product. It is a really nice, people are definitely gonna want this product in the future. It has nice cards, it's 151. The UPCs are just such a nice collector item. And then unfortunately, so, but the Sam's Club 14 reprints, there's two things. It's finally a TCG player because I just happened to see it, and it's listed for 105 at the lowest. Like there's quite a few people selling this for like 105, which is pretty good. And then it goes to 120, and you'll see some shipping deals. So sometimes you get some deals that people buy. Most people have two of them because like that's the online deal. But what I'm seeing is that like if you're looking for this opportunity, unfortunately on eBay the sales are getting worse. It's going more toward 120 per. This is about like 123. This is like a 125. This one is pack 2. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense actually. And then this is like 120. Like these are sales from yesterday. So prices are starting to rise. This is about 120 as well. So the promos are still selling pretty well. You see this is like $28 when they do sell. And it just means like, the supply might run out more than you think. Now with the 10 pack coming, I think if you miss out on this one, it's okay. But yeah, like I probably wouldn't try to overspend. But if you want the really good deals, like the price is actually going up on these. I think a lot of people do like the promos for this, especially the Gengar. I think the Gengar is a really good promo, and fortunately, it might make this product more valuable. And like you won't be able to just buy for cheap pack price. I think like depending on what the promos are in the 10 pack. And then for yeah, so I think this thing, but I'd like to see what happens with TCG Player. You can still get some cheap ones available. So if you wanted those, you can still get this a little cheaper than eBay. Loose packs. Loose packs are kind of weird because there's not a lot of supply for each of the listings. Like it's like 1550 to like 1620 over here, but there's not a lot of quantity. So the price per pack is still around 1620 in that sense. For bundles, they sold 19 yesterday, and yeah, they're hovering back, still trying to break $100. PCETBs had that spike yesterday, 4 sold, and we're still seeing most of the items around like 935 to 950. ETBs took a break yesterday, so 0 sold, and then Blooming Waters sold 5 yesterday, and yeah, there's the cheaper one for 175. And this thing, yeah, doesn't really rise much. Most of the prices are still around 190, but it's been like that for like a while now. So Blooming Water is still kind of the same place in that sense. All right, Mega Evolutions cases showing an interesting pattern here. So they went down. That's the first important part, but that's not the really interesting part. But they're down 14. They're back to where they were the day before at 1478. Otherwise, they're usually around like 1490. That's where the other price was, or 1500. And what I saw here is that there's a spike of cases selling. I was like, okay, that's interesting. But if you look at the graph, you see like it's like equidistant. About like there's like a bunch of cases sold here on like the 22nd, 23rd, then around 29 and 30. It sells like a little more, and then over here you see November 5th. So it's about like every week it seems like, I don't know, someone buying like a bunch of mega cases. Because why is it happening like literally every week? It's like Thursday today, so I don't know. Because you see a lot of cases selling for about like 1475, 1480. That's kind of the range people are trying to get these at, and there's not that many at that price range. But it does make sense to kind of, get on the cheap. Like you'll save like $20 or whatever. Mega Evolution is just really cheap right now, and eventually it'll kind of reverse because we saw what happened in Destined Rivals. Like the cases do have that premium. It is just the most logical thing to buy. Like I had people offering me bundles and stuff. I just do the math. I'm like, why would I buy bundles? I literally buy booster boxes or cases. People really underestimate like the power of like the products sometimes. They just look at the price points, and because like the thing with booster bundles is like, it's kind of dumb because like let's say booster bundles are $50, and you're like, oh, I'll give you a deal. Let's say like $40, like $45, and you're like, yeah, but the price per pack is still like bad at $45 because it's still worse than loose boxes. So like you just buy the booster boxes. Now the main reason I buy it is that maybe you can't get booster boxes because local deals, you don't pay taxes or whatever. But other than that, like it just makes sense to like wait for the local deals or like the booster box deals. And Mega, with that, it's still selling like a lot. Like a lot of days, it's still saying 100 boxes a day total. You see like 8 sold here. It's about 50 boxes in just cases alone. This one sold like 60, so it's about 110-ish. And then This one sold 16, so it's sold like 125. Like it's still selling more than Phantasmal Flames in a day. So yeah, that's kind of where booster boxes are. The the more expensive one went up $8 for some reason, so it's at 256. Otherwise, like the case boxes and the other box are about 246, 247. This one's down $3. And the other main price increase was Lucario PCCs went up $3. I just want to look at the price ladder for this to make sure there's anything weird. I don't know, like most people, yeah, they are selling this for 260, which is like quite a bit higher. And then this one is, yes, still in the 240s. But it does kind of rise a little bit. So I think that in general, the loose boxes do have a little bit of premium. There's not a lot of sellers at the lower price points. For Lucario PCTBs, they sold 3 yesterday. Demand's been kind of level around 2 to 3 per day. For Gardevoir PCTBs, sold 2 yesterday. They're at 200 versus, while Lucario's at 210. For the Lucario normally TBs are $85. Still selling around same amount, 20 sold yesterday. Gardevoir ETBs sold are $81, sold 17. It's dropping just a little bit. And then booster bundles sold about 20 yesterday. You see demand just like plummet. Kind of, it's like half. It was going up actually from 50 to 70s, and now it's like down to 28. So yeah, not really great for booster bundles. All right, Destined Rivals cases are finally getting more in demand as sort of booster boxes. So we had, let's see, October 29th. That looks like about a week. Or maybe like 8 or 9 days, about a week with following sales of Destined Rivals booster boxes and for cases, I mean, and someone finally bought it for $25.10 each. Not really sure why they bought those two, because you could buy some cheaper ones. Like over here, you see these selling for $2,500, but I don't know, they bought it. Image Steals Plus is a pretty big seller. I think it's like Safari Zone or something, so definitely pretty trustworthy. And yeah, I said that eventually people will start buying these again. I thought the price would drop more, but the price hasn't been dropping. So I guess some people might be getting impatient. It's just like, yeah, I don't know, like someone may be bored, they'll rise again. For the booster boxes, they're actually technically rising in demand. You see it just steadily, 9 to 10 to 11. Yeah, demand's in general has been a little higher and like close to 10 recently. Before it was like a lot of days it was like 4 or 5. And then the prices of booster boxes, they went back up to 382. You know, the box prices and the case prices were dropping, but the cases probably stabilized. And then the boxes, like they actually increased back up. And then for other stuff, let's see, the booster bundles, they're around $60. They sold only about 6 yesterday. As I said before, booster bundle demand has kind of dropped as well. But they're still doing pretty decent, considering like they're only marginally more expensive than booster boxes, and because there's usually just that little bit of premium. And then for ETBs, they sold 7 yesterday, and we're heading back to pretty much most of the sellers are 120. And then the PCTBs hasn't sold any yesterday. These are still like just under 350. All right, Phantasmal Flames keeps dropping. Demand is doing still pretty good, but as expected, a pre-release price is still dropping. And we see cases down about $20 more, while the loose box is around $6, down $6. So we finally dropped down to below $300, $299.66 versus cases are about $304 a booster box. The ECBs also dropped under 6. I said before, like, yeah, a lot of these products do drop, like, especially the bundles and ETBs, like they usually always drop. The booster boxes, like, you know, Mega had that big run stuff. Sometimes they go back up, but these other items, they tend to drop, especially the PCTB. Once PCTB takes some time sometimes after people actually upload their orders and stuff, because, you know, Pokemon Center has to send it to them. They're not usually like that fast. But yeah, demand numbers still pretty good. We see 93 sold yesterday and already 53 sold today. And then if you add up the 3 cases, that's like another 18 boxes. So that's like 110 boxes sold. So yeah, still doing pretty good. And yeah, not that surprising that prices are dropping, especially since a lot of booster boxes have already gone down. So, you know, it just lowers kind of the expected price. ETBs sold 67 yesterday, so we're not seeing anything crazy. We're not seeing like hundreds of ETBs sold, but usually the most best metric to look at is the booster boxes. For booster bundles, it's actually dropping down to 40. It's been selling about like 50 to 55. And then PCTBs took a break the other day, but it's been selling about 3 per day in general. Juju Train's usually the only one who ever sells, so it's kind of inflated in that sense. Like $500 just seems too much for a brand new PCTB nowadays. All right, not a great day for Paldean Fates. So the ETB keeps dropping, and it was holding so steady, and now a lot of the price drops that I expected early on before, they're happening now. It's down to 240 now. This was, if you look at the graph, just this month, it was at 288, but it was like pretty steady at that price point. You see, like, it was pretty steady over here. It dropped like a little bit, but from September like 20th to like October, like September to like pretty much the month of October, it was like very steady. That was the month of a lot of drops. Now it's just dropping a lot more. And the amount sold yesterday, you see people are still picking them up. 2 sold yesterday, buying the dip around 250, 260. And yeah, after this 241, still 250 to 255, still a great discount. Bundle displays are down about $7, so these keep dropping. I said like they're getting closer and closer to the price point where people will really want to buy them. It's usually in the 1000s marks, somewhere in that price range. Booster bundle is down $2, sold only 2 yesterday, and they're still mostly around $100. And then the PCTBs sold 0 yesterday, still around 416. PCTBs were known to like drop a lot. Like you see the difference, like it was like around over here, month of October, 488 to 411, dropped like $70. And then packs, I think pack demand's kind of slowing down. It was selling more before for some reason, but yeah, it's starting to slow down a little bit. Pack prices are still pretty high, like $15 or $15.60. All right, Crown Zenith pack prices are still looking pretty good. So I mentioned how they were mostly at $14.50. They still kind of are. There's another seller with 20 packs at $14.25. After that goes to $15, and I'm really anticipating that kind of rise coming up because there's no risk of reprints or anything. Some people will go toward Crown Zenith because they'll see the risk a little better. They'll see reprints for like 151 Paldean Fates, and those are still good to get, but some people will go toward Crown Zenith because it's such a good set. And it's just getting older and older. The ETBs have been just selling really badly. Like one finally sold yesterday for 198, but these keep dropping. They're now at like 196. They're down $4. Bundles are back up $2, and yeah, with that, like the ETBs are actually cheaper than booster bundles. Think about that. Like the ETBs have like the promo card, they have all extra stuff. The top thing here is the booster bundle right now, which has been pretty strong around 120. So yeah, I don't really know. I had someone mention that yesterday, and for those of you who haven't been to this channel, while a lot of it is from my speculation, is that they released booster bundles at the very end of the Crown Zenith life cycle. So they printed a ton of ETBs, a ton of Sea and Sky, whatever, but these booster bundles are literally rare. Because I think they experiment at the end of it, because Pokemon tends to run experiments at the very end of eras. For this one, they did booster bundles, because booster bundles started appearing the 151 Paldean Fates. That's why a lot of people got them cheap early on. But I remember these came out, I bought some, and I think with like the Scarlet Violet, like they tried the box toppers for joining together. They tried that, and then they tried the black and whites, the red card, and the other really rare cards, and they added that to Mega Evolution. So they keep experimenting, and that just adds a little extra stuff to some of these sets sometimes. So it's just a really scarce product. Sold one yesterday, and yeah, it's back at 122. Sea and Sky is at 210 still, sold 2 yesterday, and it's still just hovering at that price. JM Sneakers, yeah, they increased to 10, which, yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but just means that you have more opportunity to get cheap Crown Zenith. That wraps things up for this video. I hope you walked away with a better understanding of the market. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more deep dives in the Pokemon market. Tell me what's the next big investment you're considering in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you all later.